It is that time of year, my AKAPADers. It's horror season. It's October. It's the 31 Days of Dread, where we do on this podcast, AKAPAD, the Film Buff Podcast. That's me. We do one horror movie a day for the entire month of October. This year, it's nothing but black and white movies. Let's go. Welcome back to the show of shows, my AKAPADers. Let's just go over it. If you're new here, well, I'm Peter A. DeLuca, the Film Buff. This is the 31 Days of Dread. This is a black and white theme. This is animation weekends. The earlier drops, every single weekend, cartoons. This makes it amazingly difficult. I don't know how far I can go with black and white horror, anything. It's a little tough thing. We will be doing two silly symphonies. So anyone out there that knows the history of silly symphonies, I'm sure you guys can guess that one. I'm currently, for example, looking at some Popeye episodes just to get something. So it's going to be a little bit tough. But I believe we do have a black and white animation, stop and go animation. So there's just a lot coming. But let's talk about The Skeleton Dance, 1929, Silly Symphonies. Here's the thing. These are short films. These are short films that were meant to be purchased and picked up by theaters to show around matinees. There were somewhat trailers at the time. So, you would go to the theater and be entertained and not just have a couple trailers with the movie you paid for. You would get newsreels, you would get serials, like live action serials, like in the past we've covered the Captain Marvel, the Captain America one. By Captain Marvel, I mean Shazam. We may have covered Batman too. So a lot of the characters prevalent today were in live action serials, and some of these serials they would run for double 15, 16, 17 episodes, and these stories were usually mysteries. Disney found a good vein. So Disney breaches sound. We know the history with Steamboat Willie. But the important thing when it comes to Silly Symphonies is that this was the workhorse that printed the money for these guys. Silly Symphonies were popular. People looked forward to them. And it was a format that allowed the animators to really do something special. And we say special because this is a time where, and here's the funny thing. With all the technology we have today, right? Where's the single person talents? I'm going to say it. Where's the AKAPADers? There's not a lot of Renaissance people out there. We live in an age of technology. The microchip has changed the world around us. It made so much accessible. We have the World Wide Web. Now we have AI. You think there will be single person voices, and that's directly connected to iWorks, who essentially made this his production. This is iWorks. Absolutely. I mean, it might be his animation-wise, his career work. iWorks at the time, and there is a documentary episode coming about this guy had a stake in Disney. He breaks away from Disney, gives up his shares of Disney in doing so, and tries to pursue something on his own. Now, the contemporaries he had with him at his own studio are definitely of note. He later returns to Disney, becomes a technology guy, develops camera equipment and camera techniques, further changing animation. So he spends his life in animation and changes it throughout his entire career. Here is animating everything himself. He is doing the choreography, he's doing the timing, he is doing the backgrounds, he's doing the layouts. And back then the layouts were essentially the storyboards. he has an ungodly speed, but he's got two other assistants, Les Clark and Wilfred Jackson, working around him. Les Clark, of the two, is the one that maybe one day we'll talk about Les, but Les Clark is the one to have the more his tree bared more fruit career wise than Wilfred. But hey, shout out to Wilfred Jackson. What a amazing name. And when we watch Silly Symphony, when we watch the Silly Symphonies now, we have to transport ourselves. We have to be good audience members. We have to pretend that we don't know, like we've never seen other animation. We're watching this stuff for the first time. That it's highly entertaining. That it's well choreographed. That it's funny and goofy. There was one thing with the skeleton dance where the four skeletons hold hands and they dance in a circle. And just knowing the techniques at the time, that Ub essentially had to see all of that in his mind's eye. He had to be able to rotate these skeletons, and he economically found ways to animate the skeleton. See, right? Because skeletons have what? Couple hundred bones, couple hundred parts. How do you do that by hand if you have to draw every single frame? You have to create shortcuts. You have to create somewhat of a visual language. And we see Ub's fingerprints all over this. And if you guys need a little bit more history with Ub, he was the guy that worked with Walt Disney for Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, Universal, still going today, doesn't give up the rights. Disney needs something new, and voila, we get Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse, if you compare Mickey Mouse to Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, it's right, like we see the construction, some of the design, even some of the animation, they echo one another, which turned out in Walt's favor. Didn't turn out too well. I mean, you can argue maybe it wasn't until Universal purchased DreamWorks that they were able, or Paramount got DreamWorks. You kind of want to, you kind of want to say it wasn't until Despicable Me that Universal and ImageWorks that they put their names on the map when it comes to animation. And, right, it takes a long time. One of the things I like about this is that it's short and it's effective and it's within the intent of the production. This isn't intended to transform you, to educate you, to change your mind. It's there to simply, in a silly way, entertain you, make your mind wander for a little bit, and we move on to the next stick. The skeleton dance, when it comes to animation, is I believe, the most complex and the most well executed of all of the Silly Symphonies at this time. And we're not even in the 30s yet. Again, remember, 1929. I implore any of you to Google it, watch it, learn it, and know it. But keep in mind that almost nearly every single thing you see on screen is of iWorks. It's a single vision work, and I think because of that, it's elevated. All right, AKAPADers, it's Animation Weekend. It's the 31 Days of Dread. The theme is black and white.
Roll sound.
Rolling.
Sound production, take 2.
Let's take this time real quick, AKAPADers, my fellow film buffers, and let's just go over the schedule. This is years in the making. This type of rollout I've been planning for years, but we're finally here. So here we go. Early in the morning, that's the new stuff. 8 a.m. Now, 8 p.m., Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, these are movies maybe of something coming out. Like if there's a Marvel movie coming out and we want to do a retrospective on that particular franchise, or if Sylvester Stallone comes back and gives us Rocky Part 18, we might want to use the later time slots for a week or two to go over all of the Rocky movies. Now, we have a lot of different threads on this podcast that's explored 8 p.m. So 8 a.m., 8 p.m. Wednesdays at 8 p.m. This is our creator spotlight. We could do an episode on Martin Scorsese, Steven Spielberg, some of the new guys, Spike Lee, even composers, guys like John Williams. This brings us into the weekend. Saturday, Sunday morning. Again, we're back at that 8 a.m. drop. We do cartoons because I want to emulate the times where you would wake up with a bowl of cereal and watch cartoons all day Saturday and all day Sunday, and then eventually you would get to touch grass because you would have one of your friends knocking on your door to play in a touch football game or even some baseball, basketball. The weekend nights, let's get into education. 8 p.m. Again, all of our drops are either 8 a.m. or 8 p.m. But the weekend nights, documentaries, and I focus on creative documentaries because I feel like a part of this film buff movement that we're all bathing in, that I'm super grateful for, is education. And some of where we're finding our facts, some of the, general enjoyment, because I love documentaries. All of this is explored at 8 o'clock p.m. And trust me, there's a lot there. There's a lot out there that I didn't even know existed. And we're going to go beyond that too. We're going to get into some of the graphic art, some of the special effects, some of the makeup documentaries. There's a lot to learn, and I'm so happy to bring you the 9 p.m. because you guys know I'm an autodidact. I am self-educated. Sure, I have some certifications. Sure, I spent time at the Art Institute of Philadelphia for animation. But in large, I'm a self-educated, self-made person that's connected to the weekend 8 p.m. drops. My AKAPADers, my film buffers, I hope to see you there for all of it. I love you guys, and rock and roll.
Okay, that's a wrap.